know that for the time being we have gotten out of that trouble by a very artificial means. We have, through our incentive and bailout and stimulus packages around the globe, changed the present recession. However, buying our way out of a recession is not a permanent solution. Something is wrong with the global economy, and the next time a recession comes around, we may not have the multi-trillions of dollars stored away in our coffers to bring us out of that recession. So the question arises, why is the global economy in such a mess, and how can we possibly change what is at the very root of that difficulty? Some of you may already have been off to see Michael Moore's latest movie, Capitalism, A Love Story. And you know that in that movie, to a very large extent, Michael Moore blames capitalism for the present sorry state of the global economy. Because capitalism allows greed to run absolutely rampant, nothing checks it. And as long as that is happening, we are going to head into another recession. Now here's the difficulty. I would love to preach a sermon about all the ills and evils of capitalism. I would like to say to you that it is the worst thing that has ever happened in the world. It is a corrupt and terrible system, and we should all abandon capitalism. But there is a little tiny problem. Presbyterians cannot preach against capitalism for one reason. And those of you who are historians or economists know what the reason is. Presbyterians can't criticize capitalism because we invented it. It is our great gift to the world, the capitalist global economic system. And I don't mean that in any flowery or virtual way. I mean literally and historically. Capitalism is the economic expression of Presbyterianism. In the year 1776, a man by the name of Adam Smith, who was a Scot born in the little fishing village of Kirkcaldy, published a book entitled An Examination of the Wealth of Nations. And in that book, in the year 1776, Adam Smith, using Presbyterian principles which had been drummed into him as a child, put forward a new global economic strategy called capitalism. And when the Scots people saw that, they soaked it up and said, this is the way to run our nation. And when the rest of Great Britain saw capitalism, they said, this is the right way, and quickly all of Europe adopted the Presbyterian economic system put forward by Adam Smith in 1776 in The Wealth of Nations. Now here's why it worked. Firstly, there were two underlying economic ideas at the time that Adam Smith wrote. The first, and the basis for the global economy at that point, was a system called mercantilism. And the basic assumption of mercantilism was that the most good would be done for the most people in any nation if that nation could build up its own coffers of gold bullion. And what that meant was that the government encouraged all the manufacturers in the nation to export their goods, but they discouraged importation. And that was because when you export goods out to other nations, the wealth of other nations comes into you. But when you import goods, your nation's wealth is going out. And they thought that if they could subsidize exports, and tax imports that would make the nation very strong. Adam Smith challenged that idea, and he said that to have government interference by means of either subsidizing exports or taxing imports did not benefit the average person. And he said if you want to benefit the most people, have this new system called capitalism. No government regulation. Instead, anybody at any time can manufacture anything and sell it, buy it, trade it to anybody they want anywhere in the world. That is capitalism. And the people said that's the way it should be. The other attractive part to Adam Smith's new global economic system was that it said it doesn't matter at what level of society you were born. In mercantilism and in other forms of economic structure, you have to stay at the level you were born. But capitalism says if you were born the poorest kid in the world, but you've got drive and ambition and ability, you can make yourself a millionaire.